Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to round two of Doberman versus iNko in this final of Doberman's double elimination tournament. The last match we saw some very interesting warp prism action, as well as Doberman stealing the main of iNko, which was fantastic. I absolutely love it. Some interesting things going on, and we shall hopefully see some more interesting tactics here on Lost Temple. Yeah, it's Lost Temple. God, I've drank a few beers. I'm quite merry indeed. Now, hopefully, iNko. I won't say what happened in round one if you haven't seen, if you have only just tuned into round two, but we'll see what happens. iNko currently is in a few tournaments, and he's just had to cancel one tournament and say he wins by default. But the third tournament he's in starts in 10 minutes, so I think he's going to have to forfeit that as well for this final. We'll have to see what he does. Hopefully he'll stick around for this final, because it has been already pretty fantastic from that first match. So hopefully this will be just as fantastic, and I hope you do stick around for the entirety of this series. In order to see the total outcome of it. Anyway, Doberman's probe doing a little bit of a dance there, meeting iNko at his entrance, and iNko does see now that they are at very close spawn positions. We did see a very early gas from Doberman later on before this game, in the initial game, but now Doberman going for a standard gate first. And also iNko doing exactly the same. Very interesting openers from PvP games. So no proxies going on, so happy to see that there's no cheese right now. But Doberman now poking up this ramp, seeing that iNko has spawned in a very close position to him, and iNko now throwing down that first assimilator, as well as Doberman throwing down that first assimilator as well. I wonder how many times I'm going to be saying, oh, the standard gate into assimilator build during this series. Although it wasn't like that the first time, so. And stop attacking my base. Oh, these dudes are great. They're fantastic. Anyway, we do see a new pylon coming down for iNko now. Not going to be Psylocking himself like last game. At this point in the game, and we do see a cybernetics core going down for Doberman, so very, very standard. And iNko also going for a cybernetics core. I may as well just put a mirror in between these two players, and that will do the job for me. Anyway, iNko now probing at this pylon. Mind lapse there for a second, and we do see a second gateway going down for iNko, and he does. Doberman does now see this cybernetics core, so he's not going to assume any kind of dual gate build for now. We do see the next pylon going down for Doberman. Again, make sure, very, very important, making sure that you do not Psylock yourself in the entirety of this game. So that goes for everybody. So now we do see a Zealot coming out for iNko, as also a Sentry coming out for Doberman, making sure no early harass can get up this ramp in order to make sure he can move this into the later stages of the game. We do see a second gas going down for Doberman now, as well as a few more pylons and Zealots coming down. Oh, we do see a robotics facility going down for iNko, and I don't believe... Where are you? There you are, Doberman. Doberman does not see this robotics facility going down at this point. So it's going to play out for an interesting game if he can keep that secret. Although it's not in a very secret place, so he probably won't keep it secret. Anyway, both players now researching warp gate technology, as is normal with these kinds of things. And we see that Doberman is moving out with this probe in order to just put a pylon down. So nothing that interesting, but he does have a stalker, so that's a bit more interesting than a pylon. And another pylon going down for iNko in very, very similar positions, so very similar games going on here from both players. And we do see that this robotics facility is finished, but a Stargate now going down for Doberman, so hopefully we'll either see my favourite unit, the Phoenix, or something else, which will probably be Void Rays. Ha ha ha. Anyway, Immortal now coming out for iNko, as well as more pylons, and just kind of sticking to, just not overly saturated, but he is producing more probes, so he'll be saturated very soon. Nice little force of Zealots out here, but Doberman does have him outnumbered in the army count so far. And we do see a Twilight Council going down for iNko now, and hopefully I believe with this amount of zealots out, we are going to see some charge coming out for iNko, unless all these get killed and he does transition into stalkers. Third gateway now going down, and we do see Phoenix coming out from Doberman. So I absolutely adore Phoenix. Phoenix are fantastic, and a new gateway going down for Doberman as well. So this forward push though going to be extremely effective if you can play it right. Although that being said, there are a lot of stalkers here, so I'm not so sure it's going to be as effective as first predicted by myself. And morphing out this warp gate here, and this first Phoenix coming out, spotting all these units, but there's no way that this force is going to be able to take out this sizable amount of units with these force fields in play as well. We do see, indeed, as I predicted, Zealot charge coming out from this Twilight Council, and more Phoenix coming out from Doberman. I do love this Phoenix play. He actually did Phoenix play in one of the semi-finals against Zorek, who just commented in the spectator chat, and it was thoroughly interesting to watch. So this Phoenix now coming in for a bit of scouting, and at this point iNko has nothing to shoot us down other than this one sentry. And now picking up this Immortal, very good play there from Doberman, picking up the Immortals. Hopefully another Phoenix should be out very soon. This Phoenix is idle and could pick up the other Immortal, but now this being pushed back extremely effectively by Doberman due to the major play of picking up that Immortal with that Phoenix. I believe he's going to shield, no doubt, at this point. Nobody does go down, so he's not going to have anything to shield at this point. Doberman now moving into the second Phoenix and going to be slowly picking away at this Immortal. But these Zealots are pushing back these Stalkers, but the Stalker's going to out-micro these Zealots all day long. These now warping in a Stalker in order to take out these Phoenix, but it seems that these Phoenix are just having free reign on this Immortal at this point. And now we do see a Dark Shrine coming down for iNko, so if he can get this out in time, this is going to play a massive role, since I don't believe Doberman has anything to detect DTs with, and now Zealot charge is complete, so he's going to be able to fend these off, I think, with the reinforcing Zealots. But he needs something, iNko needs a lot more in order to be able to deal with these Phoenix. Still more Phoenix being produced. Doberman sees that he has an advantage with these Phoenix, as iNko isn't getting anything to deal with them other than this one Stalker. And as somebody just pinged on this map, as I said before, we are going to see probably some Dark Templar coming out very soon. And as I said before, Doberman has nothing to deal with these Dark Templars, so if he can get Dark Templar in that probe line, it is going to be pretty much GG from Doberman, although these Phoenix coming in for more harass, and I believe still iNko has nothing to deal with these. He's warping in a few more Stalkers, but these Phoenix could quite easily pick up all those Stalkers and just rip them to shreds. Oh, is he going to see the Dark Shrine? I don't think he does. He does see the Dark Shrine, so he's going to be throwing down a Forge or a Robo Facility very, very quickly. Let's see what he does. Yes, he's throwing down a Robo Facility in order to get things out. But oh, these DTs are coming in, and I'm not so sure that he's going to have anything in time to deal with this. He is throwing down a Fast Expansion, but I'm not so sure. Oh, he's walling off as well. So let's see what happens here. This Robo Facility is going to be way too late, and Doberman is very wisely at this point throwing down more gateways in order to be able to hold off these DTs as long as possible, but they have broken through. There are 3 DTs now in Doberman's base, and let's have a look at the production tab. We do see a Forge as well going down for Doberman. Where was that one? Maybe it was for... I've lost it completely. But whilst those DTs are harassing, we have a lot of Phoenixes picking up a lot of units here, and Stalkers trashing the units that iNko has. These DTs now just mauling away at all these buildings, and as you can see now, these Phoenix, and there is nothing Doberman can do at this point. These DTs have got him fully covered, even with all these units streaming in. Doberman has nothing to detect them, so now these DTs are splitting up and going to be killing off a lot of these probes. And oh, there is a Void Ray coming out now for Doberman, so whilst iNko does have a Forge going up in order to probably put some cannons down around his probes so these Phoenix can do less harass on them, these DTs here are going to be able to fend off these Stalkers, and we see this Void Ray coming in very, very soon now. But oh, iNko has now thrown down another expansion in order to keep himself in this game for as long as possible whilst these DTs do the damage. We do see more Void Rays coming out, fully charged, but these Stalkers are going to be warping in and taking out this Void Rays, moving back to that Stalker, and he does save that Stalker from the Void Ray round. And now he's just really picking away slowly at these Phoenix with these Stalkers. Good God, there's a lot going on in these matches, and we do see Doberman moving a lot of his probes into a position where he can save them effectively. I reckon he's going to be throwing down a Nexus there as quickly as he can, and these Stalkers now just sitting in front of the base, these DTs standing guard, making sure that Doberman doesn't get into the base of iNko in order to finish him off. These DTs must have a total of 22 kills on that DT there, so all these gates are now underpowered, but we do see Doberman throwing down this expansion as predicted here in order to be able to save himself in this game. I'm not sure, there is nothing against these DTs, I'm pretty sure there is nothing he can do. iNko does have these cannons warping in here, so they're going to be able to fend off these Phoenix from any kind of harass that he tries to get on them in the line. And what iNko needs to do now is scout for this Nexus with these DTs. There's no way, in essence, that iNko can lose right now with these DTs in play. Doberman has nothing to scout them, and all he needs to do is spread out these DTs, spot this Nexus, and it is GG. iNko does have this expansion going very, very nicely now. It's all up with cannons around it, so there's no way that Phoenix can possibly harass this line once he does have them in position, and this is just delaying the inevitable from what I can see now. It seems that I'm surprised iNko hasn't scouted for this Nexus at this point. This Nexus has gone up, and I'm extremely surprised that this Nexus has been allowed to go up. And we do see now another Forge going up for iNko, as his Forge did get killed in his main base. A lot of the structures being destroyed in iNko's main base now by this Void Rage. Sorry, just adjusting my headset there for a second. And I would be in Doberman's shoes. It'd be very wise to, if he wants to get back in this, not that he can get back in this, but destroying this pylon next to this Dark Shrine so that he cannot warp in any more DTs. Although he can't warp in anything right now, all his structures are underpowered. Oh, but we do see another warp gate coming down here, as well as another 2 warp gates even down in this base, so he's going to be able to warp in something or other. So these DTs just pounding away at these units. And by the looks of things, Doberman could get himself back in this if this Forge does go up. All these Phoenix are going to be great for the harass of units that do move out across the map, and he could effectively isolate a lot of what iNko does. And iNko very, very surprised right now that he has rebuilt, and Doberman denying that he has rebuilt. So these photon cannons now are going to completely negate the fact that these Dark Templars are up, unless the Dark Templars can reach them in time. So this is going to be a race here, ladies and gentlemen, to see if these Dark Templars can get there in time, but I'm not so sure that they will be able to. And oh my god, if he just moves in now, I think that they actually could get there in time. And this has been walled off now, and I'm pretty sure that these Dark Templars are going to go down to these cannons or not move in at all. But there are 5 Dark Templars here against 2 cannons, so maybe he's going to go for a kill. And yes, I believe that these cannons are going to go down to these Dark Templar. So he is throwing down another cannon now. Oh my god. And these pylons are going to go down very fast, but now moving in with this Dark Templar in order to see if he is going to throw more cannons. And he has thrown down more cannons, but they are going to be nullified. And Doberman does call the GG, so that is game 2. It is 1-1. God, I'm giving it away now. It's 1-1 in this series. So yes, I'll see you next match.